recorded. So Amanda, if you'll do that for us.
It's on.
Excellent.
Hot mic.
Excellent. All right. So we just want to say thank you so much to the mentors who have made a lot of this possible. And a huge congratulations to the spring 2020 cohort.
And they've done a great job. They spent the last 3 months in a accelerator with business classes twice a week, meeting up with a group of 3 mentors once a week. They really did an awesome job. So tonight is a celebration. It's a showcase of them, what they've accomplished, who they are, their businesses that they're launching or relaunching. So this is a virtual event, obviously, but we still want to celebrate. So throughout the night, you'll see this slide in our slide deck. So when you see it, unmute and make some noise. Like, I want the neighbors to, like, you know, be peeking their nose through the blinds to figure out what's going on at your house. So when you see this slide, unmute your phone or your computer and cheer for these guys.
You like now, Amanda? Like, hee-haw!
Yeah, let's give it a little test.
I like it.
Yeehaw!
That's lame.
Not a bad start, right?
I like it.
We did want to kick off the showcase this evening, essentially recognizing what's happening right now. And I do have a statement that the EforAll staff has worked really hard on, essentially to address what we hope to do within our own organization. So as an organization committed to helping all entrepreneurs succeed, we can't sit back as the very people we serve are losing their lives and facing systemic racism and oppression. And so I just wanted to read to you all as kind of a promise, the vows that we've put together as an organization. And so the first is, we're gonna look closely within ourselves and our organization, identify and wipe out racist or biased behavior, which we know can happen in all people, whether intended or not. Amanda, do you have yours?
Yeah, and also as staff, we're going to be trained on addressing instances of bias and racism head on. You know, and that can be uncomfortable, but we recognize that we have to do that even when it is uncomfortable for everyone involved.
EforAll's curriculum will address racism and bias, and our entrepreneurs will learn how to succeed in the face of these challenges, which can come from any and all directions, including ourselves.
We're going to ask our mentors to learn to watch out for and end racism and bias that may occur in their own behavior, and to increase their understanding and empathy for EforAll entrepreneurs who have to endure that on a daily basis.
Also, EforAll specialists, so those who teach our classes, will be held up to our standards to ensure that no racist or biased behavior or information will enter our lessons.
We're also going to make sure that our donors are made aware of our commitment to end racism and bias, and to ensure that they're supportive of these efforts. We invite anybody who's a donor with EforAll to actively work alongside us and stand shoulder to shoulder to help us achieve our vision in the communities that we serve and in the new communities across the nation in the months and years to come.
And in addition to looking within our organization and all the wonderful people who come together to help EforAll's entrepreneurs succeed, we commit ourselves to help to eliminate systemic and institutional racism, and to be an active voice in advocating for change at an industry, regional, state, and national level, so that racism and bias are publicly eliminated. So as an organization, we're committed to providing equal access to resources for historically underserved entrepreneurs, and we're gonna do better. So we just wanted to say that to you guys, our stakeholders. Amanda, you wanna?
So this all started with mentor matching, right? So we call it speed dating for mentors. And what happened is our entrepreneurs came into 2 rooms over 2 nights, and they met 3, you know, they were looking for 3 entrepreneurs each, 3 mentors each. So with 13 entrepreneurs, they met 40 people over the course of 2 nights. And everybody talked to each other to discover where their interests and their personalities intersected. And from there, we had these teams that emerged that have been working together over the last 3 months. And it is hugely rewarding to help these folks as they're going through this process. You know, some of it is the day-to-day helping with some of the nuts and bolts of starting a business, and some of it is just the emotional support of making sure that you're there to hold their hand and to reassure them that no, you're actually not crazy. Well, most of you aren't crazy. So we encourage, you know, if you have questions, there are mentors in the room. If there's anybody who's been on the fence about participating, we're always looking for mentors, and we're actually already recruiting for our fall 2020 cohort and our fall 2020 mentor pool. So we're having a mentor mixer on June 17th. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a virtual mentor mixer, so you can do it from the comfort of your own home. We're going to get some updates from some of our existing entrepreneurs, award some money, and then we're going to do a game night. So save the date. We'd love to see you guys there on June 17th.
Amanda, do we know ish the time on June 17th?
5:30, I believe.
Okay. And just as Amanda was kind of saying, so this is just giving you context for, you know, the path that entrepreneurs took to get here tonight. So they got set up with their mentor teams after mentor matching, and then they've been going to business classes twice a week over the last 12 weeks as they've been really actively rolling up their sleeves, both themselves and with their mentor teams to build out these businesses. So this is a picture from last cohort.
And then the capstone presentation project. Each of the entrepreneurs took their blood, sweat, and tears that they shed over 3 months and inserted them into 10-minute final presentations. So they gave presentations for 10 minutes. They answered questions from a judges panel for 10 minutes. They were able to show their budgets, their projections, and their plan for their businesses moving forward. It is nerve-wracking, and I am happy to say that they all made it through.
And so that, a huge thanks to the folks in the community that make this happen. First, our board, our leadership team, who are kind of tirelessly helping me get out there, make some strategic decisions, also taking the lead on fundraising. To the mentors who've been meeting weekly for 90 minutes with these folks. To our experts who've been teaching classes, to the judges who are able to provide really excellent feedback to our entrepreneurs based on their presentations, application readers who help us sort through and help us choose the cream of the crop, and to the volunteers that help us broadly.
We also want to say thanks to the friends and family of the entrepreneurs. When we start this process, I warn applicants that it's almost like picking up a part-time job. You're going to put a lot of time and energy into this process over the intensive portion, the 3-month intensive portion. And as with anything in life, when you're putting extra time into one thing, it means that you need somebody else to help you pick up the slack on something else. So we know that this is a commitment not only for the entrepreneurs, but for their family and their friends. So thank you to you guys too for the support system that you've provided these folks throughout this process.
And so these are our brand new impact numbers, which we're really proud to show you. So over 500 businesses have been started by EforAll alumni. Over $25 million in capital or in revenue, just in 2019. And we'd love to show the impact in terms of local jobs, especially right now. So EforAll alums have created 720 local jobs. And EforAll is a fairly young organization. And so we expect these numbers to grow, not only from the new entrepreneurs that are launching all the time, but from the folks who've started, and they're still kind of in growth mode. And, you know, EforAll helps everybody succeed. So we're across all sites, 74% women owned, 58% are businesses that are owned by people of color, 46% are immigrant owned, and 39% of our entrepreneurs were previously unemployed.
So if this sounds like fun, or if you have someone in your life who is either looking at the current circumstances and thinking, hey, you know what, if I'm going to start a business, maybe now's the time to give it a try, or even somebody who's in the early stages of an existing business who's discovered that they need to pivot and rebuild some of the foundational aspects of their business. Applications are open for the Fall Accelerator. And I'd just like to say the show will go on one way or the other. So this group has been hugely adaptable and has proven that we can do a virtual accelerator if we need to. While we would love to see people in person, you know, doing classes in a room again, if that's not possible, we will still be moving forward with this. So applications are open on our website now. The application is open until August 12th. There's more information on our website, or you can always reach out to Kristen or I if you have questions. But if you see people who you think would be a good fit for the accelerator, either as an entrepreneur or as a mentor, we'd love to have them.
And I would say we could definitely use your help with recruitment this time around, because we do typically do a lot of kind of on the ground recruitment, you know, putting out flyers, going into coffee shops, talking to people. We're definitely going to rely on you all are kind of stakeholders. So much appreciated. If you can think of someone who could really benefit from this program, send them our way.
So we are doing our first virtual pitch contest, and that is happening on Thursday, July 16th. We're going to be doing it via Zoom. This is an opportunity for someone who has an idea for a business, is maybe not ready to commit to doing an application for the accelerator. They have 2.5 minutes. They get to pitch their ideas to an audience and a panel of judges, and we'll be awarding some money to help accelerate some of those ventures. So pitch your idea, or you can just attend and, you know, you can help us vote for the audience favorite and help us award some of that money.
So at this time, I'd like to recognize our key partners that have made this whole organization possible. Our seed funder, Mike Fitzgerald, who's been a wonderful philanthropist for us. Mass Growth Capital Corporation, Cape Cod Foundation, and donors like you. You all make it possible for us to provide this program for free.
So, you know, this is a 3-month intensive period accelerator followed by 9 months of additional support and mentorship. What happens after that, right? So EforAll has partnered up with an organization called the Mansman Foundation to offer what we are calling E4Ever. This is peer-to-peer support. It's small groups that get together to discuss, to have facilitated discussions on some of the major issues that the businesses are facing. The applications for this are open on e4ever.org. That's e4ever.org. And this is open to all businesses who've been in business for a year or more and are meeting a certain sales threshold. So while we love to have our alums, we're also mixing it up and offering this to folks who are not alums, but you know, meet the criteria and feel like they could use some of that peer-to-peer support. So it's another, it is another tool that we're putting into the toolbox for our entrepreneurs on Cape Cod.
Yeah, really, really excited to have this for the Cape Cod entrepreneurs, for sure. So with that, let's meet the entrepreneurs.
So I'm going to ask the entrepreneurs, take yourselves off of mute. We're going to go through one by one, and we'd love to hear your 1-minute pitch for your business. So let's start with Alex of Beacon. Tell us who you are and what you do, and receive your virtual certificate.
Yeah, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Great. Yeah, so just want to say out front, EforAll was amazing, and you guys are the best, so appreciate all of you. So basically, Beacon helps you find parking in outdoor surface parking lots. So if you've ever struggled with pacing up and down the parking rows without being able to find a spot, Beacon is there to help you. And if you're in an extra rush, not only will it guide you to the spots,
hey, hon.
But you can pay for a spot closest to the building, and that generates a new stream of revenue for the lot owner, making it much more appetizing to buy. So really, we're hoping to scale this. And you know, COVID's thrown a bit of a wrench in there in terms of what market we're going to be pursuing, but we've got a lot of faith going forward. I think we can make this happen.
We're excited to see it, Alex. Can't wait to see where you go next.
Thank you.
You got this. Love it. So let's congratulate Alex for having made it through 3 months. Can you
All
make some
right,
noise?
Alex.
Good job, Alex.
And next, we're going to ask Ronda of Beulah's Bakery to step forward and give us your 1-minute pitch.
Hi, I'm Ronda Polleys, owner of Beulah's Bakery, featuring Beulah's buns. They are a Midwest caramel roll made with an ooey gooey caramel sauce. It's named after my grandmother, inspired by my dad, and it was inspired by a Christmas tradition that we did. So I am now taking that to another new level and marketing it to online farmers markets and specialty stores. So I'm very excited to go on this next adventure.
And I'm going to say it's cruel that we went virtual just as the caramel rolls were starting to, that was just mean, Rhonda.
I'm waiting to like deliver to all of you. So.
Let's have a round of applause for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Woo, Rhonda.
Next up, Lauren of Brightly-Well.
Hello, yeah, thank you so much. It's really nice to be at this part where we didn't have to do homework. I'm Lauren from Brightly-Well, and Brightly-Well educates individuals how to use intuition to heal their body and calm their mind. And it's an empowering field of mind-body medicine that helps you free from the confines of a one-size-fits-all treatment, and it allows you to cultivate wellness from the inside out. What we do is do online and local workshops and classes, do self-paced online courses, and offer some personalized guidance.
Congratulations, Lauren.
Woo! Yeah. Nice.
Good job, Lauren.
Yay, Lauren.
Next up, it is Eileen of Can You Make Hair For Me?
Yay, Eileen.
Hi, I'm Eileen Powers, and I created a collaborative art project called Can You Make Hair For Me? I invite people to make hair for me, which I then style and photograph into a series of positive portraits. And through expressive activities, speaking, a book, we hope, and art, I help to bring joy and levity to people touched by cancer.
All right, guys, let's hear it for Eileen.
Hey, Eileen. Rock and roll, baby.
Hello, Eileen.
Yeah, Eileen. Woo!
Good job, Eileen.
Next up, it is Donna from Cape Cod Fashionista. Donna, talk to us.
Hi, I'm Donna, owner of Cape Cod Fashionista, which is now an online retail, boutique, and consignment shop for doting grandmothers still, moms and girls who enjoy matching family and doll outfits, and dogs too. I'm putting dogs in there. And finding that special treasure for less. You can find anything from Chanel to Escada at very affordable, reasonable prices.
Congratulations, Donna. Let's hear it for Donna.
All right, Donna.
Yeah.
And next up, it is Laura of Huck House.
Hey everyone. Yep, it's Laura, founder of Huck House, rebranded from Cape Cod Flying Disc. So as I was telling you guys, a huck is a term in the sport of ultimate frisbee. It's the long kickoff throw that starts the next point, and it's also a verb that means to throw the disc very far. So we're now in product development stage. Our value prop is to create the iconic Cape Cod disc made of eco-friendly, sustainable material, hopefully a percentage of ocean recovered plastic, using artwork from Cape Cod artists and manufactured here in Massachusetts. So here we go. Also, thank you so much to Amanda and Kristen, and I have like a brilliant, magical mentor team. So thanks to everybody. You guys are cool.
Let's hear it for Laura.
Awesome. Nice job.
Laura.
God, Frisbee.
Next up, we have Casey of Care for a Cause. Casey.
Hi guys, my name is Casey, founder of Care for a Cause. I believe that each and every one of us has the power and responsibility to not only envision a greener future, but to actively help build it. And so to do that, I'm creating a collection of environmental awareness starter kits that will help people stay informed and take action to create a sustainable life. So it'll be different theme packages with educational information each next to that. So.
Congratulations, Casey.
All right.
Hi, Casey. Hey, girl.
Next, we have Taneil of Cherry's Home Care. Taneil, tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi, everyone. Good night. My name is Taneil Rogers, and I am the owner of Cherry's Home Health Care. I provide in-home care service for people that has disabilities or not able to independently care for themselves. My services is to help people heal in the comfort of their own home, providing quality service that will help giving family members a peace of mind while their loved ones are being cared for in a safe environment.
Love it. Congratulations, Taneil.
All right.
Taneil. Our next entrepreneur is Katie of Designs by Katie May. Katie, you have the floor.
Sorry, I think there was a lot of noise from my interference, so sorry, everybody. Hi, I'm Katie, and I am a freelance artist. I specialize in hand lettering and modern calligraphy, and I put it on basically any surface that passes me. I do primarily commissions, whether it's for wedding decor and signage, or businesses that want, menu boards or any kind of information, attention grabbing signage. I really don't limit myself, so.
And Katie, what's the name of the project you're doing right now?
Oh, right now I'm continuing another artist's project called Lettering for Love Project, where I am putting up happy messaging on the windows of Cape Cod businesses, whether they're opened or closed, and any interested business can reach out to me. And I'm only accepting donations, and they're going towards the Love Live Local Cape Cod Resilience Fund.
All right, let's hear it for Katie. Congratulations, Katie.
Nice job, Katie.
Hey, nice done.
Good job. Katie, how do they reach you if they want? How do they reach you, Katie?
My email is designsbykatiemay@gmail.com, and you can find me at designsbykatiemay on Instagram. DM me there if that's easier. Thank you.
Congratulations. Oh yeah, Sissy took notice. Congratulations too. Next up, we have Becca of Nails by Becca S. Becca.
Okay. Hi, I'm Becca Sarhadi. I'm an advanced nail technician and a mobile manicurist. I founded Nails by Becca S because I believe in making proper, safe, and clean nail care available to anybody who is unable to or doesn't want to get out to the salon for any reason.
Let's hear it for Becca. Congratulations, Becca.
Nice job, Becca.
Next, it is Dan from Osterville Wi-Fi and Smarthome. Dan, tell the people who you are.
All right, thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Daniel Curtis, and I am the founder of Osterville Wi-Fi and Smarthome. We are the Cape's local home Wi-Fi experts. Did you know that the routers Comcast installs have a limited Wi-Fi range and can only cover about 1,500 square feet in the average Cape Cod home? Furthermore, their Wi-Fi routers are the only point of Wi-Fi broadcast in most people's homes and simply can't meet the needs of Cape Cod's larger homes and outdoor living areas. Rather than installing one point of Wi-Fi broadcast, our company installs multiple points of Wi-Fi broadcast called the Mesh Wi-Fi system. These Wi-Fi systems are easily expandable and use multiple points of Wi-Fi broadcast strategically placed around the home to provide strong, fast, and reliable Wi-Fi wherever it's needed most. Whether you're working from home, helping your kids do schoolwork, online, or trying to stay connected with family and friends, you can rely on Osterville Wi-Fi and Smarthome for all of your home's Wi-Fi needs.
All right, guys, let's hear it for Dan. Congratulations, Dan. And Annie. Next up, we have Patty from Power Within Her. Patty, tell us who you are and what you do.
I am Patty Anglin. I'm the founder of Power Within Her, and I help women who feel overwhelmed and who struggle with life's challenges. Through master focus groups and one-on-one coaching, I help build confidence and direction. I lead and inspire women to believe in who they are. Thanks.
Congratulations, Patty.
Patty. Good job, Patty. Awesome, Patty.
Yeah.
Next up is Tom from Recycling Rules. Tom, lay it on us.
Hey everyone, I'm Tom Jung. I'm the founder of Recycling Rules, and we are a nonprofit now based here on the Cape, and we are passionate about recycling. We're building a really cool, innovative website platform that actually builds recycling websites for municipalities all across the United States. And it probably bears repeating. Kristen and Amanda, thank you for your leadership. And to my mentors, I really lucked out. I got 3 awesome ones. So thank you again to Godfrey, to Craig, and to Muska.
Thank you, Tom. Let's hear it for Tom.
Oh, Tom.
Yeah, Tom. So with that, we're going to transition out of the 1-minute pitches. And lucky for us, we get to hear from keynote speaker Amy DuFault. Amy is a seasoned journalist of 25 years who started out at the Cape Cod Times and Cape Cod Life magazine, and has since written for the Huffington Post, The Guardian, Participant Media, and lots of other international print and online publications. Her focus has led her to focus on sustainability, human rights, and regional supply chain, which she also consults businesses on. As communications director for a Dirt to Shirt certified t-shirt company in Burlington, North Carolina, and sustainability director of a natural dye company in Seattle, Washington, she's been able to help grow both businesses dramatically through the coronavirus. So with that, I'd love to welcome Amy DuFault.
Whoa, hey, thank you. Very exciting. I love hearing about all these businesses. I did like a little bit of reading on everybody, but it's exciting. And thank you to you, Kristen and Amanda, for putting this together and for highlighting everybody and finding a way to make it work during this so that everybody does get acknowledged. I keep feeling so bad when I see signs in people's front yards that like high school graduates, and you know, it's like such a bummer, but this is great. So thank you for asking me to be part. I didn't know if I was still going to be part, so I was like, oh yeah, I'll do that. I remember. So like Kristen was saying, I wear many hats as my own business of Amy DuFault Consulting, with that awesome logo that my husband created there. And I have been storytelling my whole life, and 25, I like to say 25 professionally. And for those 25, 13 have been really focused on sustainability and fashion. And I really hope that you don't get to hear my dog bark, because there's suddenly so much action happening in this house. It's so distracting, and I'm trying to stay focused, like now. So I was born and raised on the Cape, and I lived in Marston's Mills my whole life. Well, my parents had this house for about 35 years. I went out west and lived in Santa Fe, New Mexico, Portland, Oregon. I went to school in Italy. I backpacked Europe. I worked on ships. I did many things for about 8 years. And I was out in Portland, Oregon, met my husband. We suddenly had a kid, and we were driving a U-Haul across the country back home to Cape Cod with a 6-month-old in the front seat, towing a Land Cruiser, because I just wanted to come back here, because this is where I feel most at home. I just love Cape Cod. And I think it's different too every time you come back here. I don't know, I'm sure everybody or most of you could say that, whether you're whatever age you are or what you're doing professionally. It's like Cape Cod is just a really great place to be, and it's beautiful. And I love it here. So I've always run my own business, and I've always been an independent contractor or a freelancer or a co-founder or a co-owner. but so I've worn many hats as that business. So I totally get business, and you guys can totally ask me questions after. I know we're going to do like a little Q&A, but so the past 6 years, I've been actually working at a fashion and design accelerator in Brooklyn and commuting to Brooklyn from the Cape for 6 years, but that just ended. So love accelerator programs, would love to throw my hat in the ring to be a mentor sometime, because that'd be fun. So as a journalist, you have to really listen a lot. And when I first started writing professionally on the Cape, I was writing for Cape Cod Life and Cape Cod Magazine. I used to do the art guide for Cape Cod Life, and I was writing for Boston Magazine too. So I was writing about everything from, you know, fishing to fashion. I had to deal with some of my like worst fears ever, with like an ice fishing article, standing on the middle of Peter's Pond and talking to an ice fisherman. But, you know, talking to lots of different business owners through the years and being an independent contractor, which is my own business, I got to hear those stories and really understand how businesses are run and what makes a successful business and what makes a not so successful business. And I found that a lot of times the businesses that were successful were people who were really good at communicating. And 25 years ago, people were not using social media. So it was, you know, sponsoring runs and fundraisers and donating to the community and having events, doing different things. But it's changed so much now where we have social media and we have so many different platforms to use to connect. So it's gotten, it's matured a lot through those, you know, through the years. I jotted this down because it made me laugh, and sometimes I have to make myself laugh because I don't want to be so serious, because I'm not a serious person at all. So I think that when it comes down to people doing their storytelling and being really efficient with connecting with community, there's some things that you need to do to really stand out. And so, so I picked some things that my mom likes to say that really makes businesses on Cape Cod stand out for her. They're the only hardware store open on Sundays. They have chowder that actually has clams in it. They have big portions of food, and they sell local things. But those are ways that, for my mom, it makes like that business really stand out in a sea of large businesses where she likes to shop at Walmart and other big box stores, which I've tried to convince her to stop doing for years. When you have a business and you have to really nail your storytelling and really figure out what it is that you do best, it's not always going to be that you have really good clam chowder. You have to think about, you know, what is that road that you've picked to be on? For me in sustainability, it started out with this really wide lens with, I just like things that were made eco-friendly. I don't even say eco-friendly anymore. But, you know, through the years, that idea of kind of being eco-friendly has led me down to thinking about human rights in supply chains and people being paid fairly and you know, that's kind of my niche now. But some of the best advice I ever got was from a good friend of mine, Maria Moyer, and she was coaching the brand Coach. And I came to her as a young consultant, and I don't know, like 5 years into really focusing on sustainability and fashion as a journalist. And she said, put the brakes on with what you're doing. And like, you're talking about a brand you're consulting brands, telling them they have to do all these things in sustainability, and it's not possible. What I want you to imagine is this, that you are on one of those roads in the Midwest, those long, straight roads, and you're driving a car on that road. And that one thing that you're really, really good at is that one thing that you represent, that road represents. You just drive it, maybe your whole business career, you get really, really good at it. And if you feel like you're so damn good at it that you can put your blinker on and take a left or take a right and go down another road for a long time and get really good at something, then do it. But don't try to do everything at once as a business, because you're really not going to do anything that well. And I know we all wear many hats as business owners, and you do have to do many different things, but please, like, try to think about the kind of core mission of your business. I'm sure your mentors have talked to you about this, like what you really focus on. and drive it for a while. So back in 2008, recession's in full bloom. And I've already heard Love, Live Local mentioned. So I started a boutique called Shift Conscious Clothing with Amanda Converse, who founded, one of the founders of Love, Live Local. So Amanda and I started Shift, and it was the dumbest thing ever, but we're like, let's do it. Because I was trying to help out designers who were having their orders refused from boutiques, and they didn't know what to do. They were gonna go under. And Amanda was really working a lot with the Business Improvement District and doing a lot with local things. She was doing everything. She still does. But so Amanda, as part of our business, we had this idea of local, but we also had this idea of sustainable. And the two of us, we had lots of different ideas. We had lots of events. We had everything from acupuncture in our back room to chocolate tastings. We had sample sales. We had so much stuff. And those were the days that we sold tons of stuff. We made a bunch of money, and we realized that with events, that would really help us out a lot. And being able to utilize social media at that time to do our storytelling, which is when I really started doing that storytelling online and not in print, not just print media, it really helped us out a lot. I got offered my dream job as a managing editor of an online sustainability magazine. So about 1.5 years into that partnership with Amanda, I left, and Amanda continued on. And it's been so wonderful to see how she's evolved that business. And anybody who knows Amanda can, you can see what she's done. She always loved the idea of local, and she finally, thank God, let go of Shift. I think it was last year, and really went full on into Love, Live Local and supporting local businesses. And I know she has, something going on. It was just mentioned, the fundraiser right now during the pandemic to help local businesses. So her road has always been local. It just took her a little bit of time to figure it out. And, it takes us all a lot of time to figure things out. But I just like to use Amanda as a local example of somebody who's just been doing a great job doing what she's doing. So as a storyteller, I realized I had to pick my road as well. And my road has, it really, again, been all over the place. And people ask me to write a lot of different types of stories. And I can't write those stories anymore because I'm not really zoned in on that area anymore. So I am writing, a lot about, again, manufacturing, regional supply chains, where things come from, human rights. It's the completely unsexy part of the fashion industry is what I represent now. But I've gotten a lot of on-the-road education. I've gone into lots of factories. I've gotten into lots of mills. I've spoken with lots of people. I've been all over the United States doing this. And again, working in Brooklyn has been wonderful that I got to think, I've always gotten to think nationally and internationally about this idea of supply chain. But when the Brooklyn Fashion and Design Accelerator was just a couple years old, I co-founded the Southeastern New England Fiber Shed, which is a group that was founded in Northern California. And there's about 40 of us all over the United States, mostly, I'd say 99.9% women running them. And we work, everybody has a different project, but in my fiber shed, which is Massachusetts and Rhode Island, I work with farmers to finish products. So I go on the farms, I go in the mills. I have large fashion brands that contact me from New York City that want to work with this supply chain. It's not ready yet, so I just keep building it. And the coronavirus has actually been wonderful because I get to really add to my producer directory and meet more people. And as I see more people making gowns and face masks, I get to see how many more people are doing cool things in this fiber shed. So coming back home from Brooklyn and coming back home as I did now over 20 years ago from Oregon has been just a real life lesson about we can do all these things all over the world, but what does it mean to bring your business home? What does it mean to have an impact in the community and to be a real driving force of change in the community, or just a business that's really providing a service, some type of a service that's really, right now, it has to be really powerful, that service you're doing, to stand out amidst the madness that is this world. So today was a really weird day. I went through my notes of what I was going to talk to you about, and I went from talking about circularity, holistic design, greed, to storytelling, which is where I ended up, because I don't want to be a bummer for anybody here. This is all positive, what everybody's doing here. You're all doing great work. But I actually was on a call today with a major publishing house and a university, and they want me to co-write a textbook, a fashion textbook for universities all over the US on supply chains. So I thought it was just hilarious. The timing of it, kind of strange that I've never been seen as that kind of a resource. But the more you do stick to that road, the more you drive that road, the more people are going to come to you for that thing. And whether it's, the biggest portions of fish and chips or it's, that you're really good at consulting about supply chains and connecting people, and you get that holistic mindset. So I can say a lot more things. I'm not going to say a lot more things. I think I've talked for longer than 10 minutes, but I just want to say, we see this time right now as maybe inhibiting our growth, but I know it's a really good time to rethink your mission statements, to rethink your businesses. I just listening to a bunch of you, I'm like, yep, that would fit right now with, that's a pivot right there with what's happening in the world, from healthcare to, educating about sustainability, recycling, communicating. It's just all so important. But if you can do one thing, it's just do your storytelling so well right now. It's everything. And I know that Kristen was saying the two businesses I'm working with, we're actually making money because of storytelling. It's been mind blowing. I'm exhausted. I have bags under my eyes all the time. I have an event tomorrow that has 800 people on Zoom. That's grown from 35. Like, it's just, if you don't know how to do storytelling, find somebody who does know how to do it and just latch onto them and just keep staying positive, work hard, and just don't give up, even though the world's telling you to back down right now. That's it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Amy. At this point, let's take a couple. We have about 5 minutes for questions. So if anybody is thinking about a question, if you would consider unmuting and ask one.
You guys can also totally ask me questions after the fact if you want to email me something, if it pops up in your head after. It's kind of a lot to process sometimes this whole evening.
I can tell you'll definitely hear from people after the fact, Amy. I'm getting little messages on the side. It's like, I need to talk to her. So
yeah, sustainability, recycling, who is it? Is it Tom that's doing the Yeah, Tom that's doing I wrote Tom's name down. So yeah, I've got people on Martha's Vineyard that need a whole textile recycling campaign set up ball was dropped as soon as coronavirus hit, but it's like a whole other world of textile waste and recycling that people like Martha's Vineyard's dealing with. When you're an island, you get to see trash pile up faster. So pretty fascinating.
Hi, Amy. As a former reporter, we all have our favorite stories. Can you tell me your favorite business story?
Ooh, my favorite business story. I guess one of my favorite business stories was a story I wrote for Cape Cod Life, and it was the first designer that I'd met. And her name still is. It hasn't changed. Such a great name, Cheryl Fudge, and she's from Nantucket. And Cheryl was the first person that I met. Okay, so she was a designer, but she was always also creating designs out of waste. So she would go to the Nantucket dump and make clothing that was one-of-a-kind clothing for celebrities and musicians that would come to Nantucket, and they just wanted to look different for their big fancy parties and stuff. So she'd make it, and she just made this name for herself, grew it on Nantucket. She has 5 locations now. She's actually now out in California and has, celebrities can book her shop to have runway parties, runway shows, design clothes. They can make a handbag or a belt or a bag, but she empowers kids and adults to make clothing out of waste. But she was really one of the first people that I wrote about, a business I wrote about for Cape Cod Life, that changed the way that I thought definitely about the clothes that I wore.
That's awesome. Amy, we have a question in the chat, which is, can you tell us a little bit about the botanical colors? What was that about? What's that all about?
Yeah, it's botanical colors is my main job, and I've been working at that for 8 years, and it's based in Seattle. And when, the online magazine, we ended up selling to a larger company, and I lost my job, and suddenly I was getting people offering me jobs, but Kathy Atori, who's the founder of Botanical Colors, which we sell natural dyes. We do production for brands. So we do like all Eileen Fisher's natural dyeing. We have a lot of large brands we're under NDA with, but we do production for them too. We do consulting for dye houses all over the world. And suddenly during the coronavirus, we just became a media company, which is, tomorrow's, like last look, 760 RSVPs for a presentation tomorrow on Indigo. So I am the sustainability director there. So I make sure our dyes are coming from a good place, and I communicate with people from beginners to experts. And I think that's a big part I wanted to talk about too, really meeting people where they're at and not discouraging them from being a part of your business, not discouraging people who don't know how to speak about what you do. I don't know how many times I go to do speaking engagements and talk to kids or whatever, all ages, and they just say, what's sustainability? Or what is fast fashion? Or what, I'm like, oh my God, as we're still here. But it's like, I just figure, you know what? I'm really happy this person's here because I know that they're going to take this information and they're going to tell somebody about it. And hopefully it ripples out. And that's the same thing again with business. You have a good business, people are going to start talking about that thing that you do really well. You make really great wigs. You make really good, what is those, cinnamon rolls or whatever the hell that is that I better have one of after this is over. Thank goodness I'm eating so much during all this, because what else are you going to do? Garden? That's what I do too. But yeah, so I work bi-coastally with Seattle, and I travel. I travel a lot with my work with both jobs. So I officially do not travel a lot with both jobs. So that's why Zoom is my new best friend.
Excellent. Well, Amy, I'm sure we'll have so many follow-up conversations or questions to probably send to you. But at this time, I just want to have everybody.
Whoa, make some noise.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, Amy. That was awesome.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you,
Thank
Amy.
you.
So with that, we have a class speaker. So we asked the cohort to cast their votes, and they elected to have Eileen Powers of Can You Make Hair For Me represent them as the class speaker. So Eileen, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Hello, I'm Eileen Powers, and I'd like to talk to you about glue. The glue in the community of people that have come together tonight in support of 13 ambitious, creative, competitive people. 13 people that came to EforAll with their own visions of what their businesses could be. And we discovered that the bonds we made together made us stronger individuals. Bonds that allowed us to dream and have ideas. The community. The glue. Working together as a group, we were able to grow our businesses and ourselves. And that's the secret of EforAll. That's the glue. We all came to the program with ideas, uncertain if those ideas would work. We learned to craft and hone those thoughts and believe in the power of our visions and our businesses. For me, the most empowering part of the program are the connections I've made to the cohort, to my EforAll family. And in their stories, I heard their passion, I heard their ambitions, and I heard love. I think my cohort asked me to speak tonight because of my struggles with life, with death, and with fear. EforAll as an experience is similar to cancer treatment in that we all have to learn to adapt and to practice acceptance in life and in business, and both are humbling. Anyone can have an idea. We all have ideas. Ideas are everywhere. But there's a difference between having an idea and acting on your dreams. Having the courage to take an idea and grow it into a business. Hi, dog. And like a living thing, it takes over our lives. And not everyone can do that. EforAll give us a circulatory system of mentors, presenters, cohort members, and an extended family who generously shared their expertise and were open to our ideas. And for that, I want to thank all of you. And where would we be without the unwavering support of superstars Amanda and Kristen? We love you, and we thank you for everything you've done for us. And finally, I'd like to thank all of the family members that endured Zoom calls on their kitchen tables, spreadsheets all over the house, like my house, and the drama that can come with pivoting. What EforAll has given us is a belief in ourselves. And for that, we are so grateful. Make glue, make business, but always make joy. Thank you.
All right, Eileen. Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
You are so wonderful.
Great job.
Thank you for being our
Excellent job,
spokeswoman.
Eileen.
Thank
Woo!
you.
You made the right choice.
Yes.
I don't know, I cry all the time, but it was amazing.
That was awesome, Eileen. Thank you.
Thank you.
So at this time, we typically in our program, we would have some group photos of each of the teams with their mentors. Unfortunately, we can't do that, but we just want to say the names of the teams. These are the mentors that have met folks, once a week for the last 12 weeks for 90 minutes, and put their blood, sweat, and tears into each of these teams. So Amanda, if you'll help me out, maybe I'll kick it off and we'll go back and forth.
Sounds good.
Beacon, that was Bob Egan, Eric Loftus, and Rich Riker.
For Beulah's Bakery, we had Dan Richards, Kate McMahon, and Lori O'Terry.
Briley Well, that was Brett Tendler, Rhonda Horn, and Adam Balone.
Can You Make Hair For Me was Steve Ferris, Lisa Bates, and Taiki Magyar.
Cape Cod Fashionista, Karen Gallagher, Peter Smith, and Kevin Ducey.
Care for a Cause was Sarah Mason, Monila Junkins, and Mike Morrison.
Cherry's Home Care, that was Izzy Kaplan, Brenda Gattoni, and Scott Zane.
Designs by Katie May was Christine Hayden, Aaron Whitcamper, and Jamie Bolin.
Huck House, Allison Karen, Kim Bilderback, and Tim Beardsley.
For Nails by Becca S., we had Kelly Anero, Carmen DeSanto, and Larry Lyford.
Osterville Wi-Fi and Smarthome, that was Dan Smith, Paul Baldish, and John Hardy.
Power Within Her had John Curtis, Felicia Penn, and Jay Potatoes.
And last but not least, Recycling Rules. That was Godfrey Chua, Craig Coe, and Musko Yusuf. With that, let's give a big round of applause for our mentors and our teams this time around.
Nice. Guys. You guys.
Yay, mentors.
So Amanda, what's going on now? What are we doing?
Oh yeah, so we actually need to go to our reporters in the field. So we're gonna start with Jen and Fitzroy. So if I can have people go to make sure that you're muted. Let's start with, if you're in the Zoom call, make sure that you're muted. And if you can go to speaker view, make sure that your view is on speaker view. And then I'm gonna turn it over to Jen and Fitzroy. Jen, are you there?
We're here, hey!
Amanda, you're on mute.
So we're gonna award some money to some entrepreneurs. So entrepreneurs, if your door rings or there's a knock at your door, you need to answer it.
This is so cool.
Our first award.
Put it down on the floor. Put it down.
Woo!
All right, congratulations.
Congratulations to Eileen with Can You Make Care For Me? She has just been awarded $1,500. $1,400.
Awesome.
Eileen.
That's so cool.
We're so proud of you, Eileen.
Congratulations.
Good job, Eileen.
Congratulations, Eileen. And thank you to Jen and Fitzroy for being our Ed McMahons.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, next up, do I have someone from my contingent, either Amy or Laura or Linda or Melissa? Do I have somebody from that contingent in the room?
We are here. We're here.
Excellent. All right, so if you guys can go ahead and go visit our second place winner.
We're here.
So in second place, we have Laura from Huck House.
How do you turn it around? I don't know how to turn it around. Oh.
That's okay. We can see you, Melissa. There you go.
There we go.
So thank you to the lovely ladies.
It's you. Congrats. Congratulations.
Way to go, Laura.
Woohoo!
Woo-hoo, that's awesome.
All right, Laura.
Laura.
And we have one more person that we're going to award money to with this cohort. So I'm going to throw it to our reporters in the field. Todd, Dave. All right, Todd, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you. You're coming in and out, but I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. All right. You guys ready?
We're ready. Let's do it, Todd. Who is our first place?
I'm
Who
waiting-
is our?
I'm waiting on those two. Dave, let's go.
Publishers Clearinghouse.
There's a really big check.
So easy. All right, Todd, we see you. What? Approach.
Oh, sweet. That was amazing.
Oh my God.
Congratulations.
First place!
Awesome, Taneil.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
That's so great.
And that's for you.
Congratulations. Pick it up. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yay, Taneil.
Oh, that is awesome.
So we are so excited for you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. That's
great.
You made it through and you got the picture.
That's awesome.
Thanks to EforAll. Thanks to everyone. Oh my God.
Oh.
I just want to say thank you to EforAll and my mentors, my core arts. This has been This is amazing, and I just want to say thank you to everyone.
Oh,
Wow.
congratulations, Neil.
So awesome. Congratulations.
So we are
Wish I could
super
hug you, but I
excited.
can't, so.
Soon enough.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Yay,
Taneil.
Good job, Taneil.
So I think the toughest part for our volunteers is that they couldn't hug anybody.
Oh yeah. Oh, you got that too? Nice.
Yeah, go get a camera and take pictures or whatever you like.
So we're gonna give Taneil an opportunity to have her her photo op, and we just want to say congratulations to you guys. Eileen was awarded $1,300, which she can use towards her portfolio materials. Laura was awarded $2,500, which she can use towards her steel injected mold for her prototype. And Taneil was awarded $5,650, which she'll be able to put towards software for her business, towards hiring new people, towards personal protective equipment, towards a couple of different things. So congratulations, guys. We're really excited for all of you. And, you know, the money is a bonus, but I just would like each and every one of you to take a moment to think about where you were when you came in for those nerve-wracking interviews and you had a panel of people sitting in front of you peppering you with questions about your business and how terrifying that was, and where you are today and your ability to move forward with your ideas, your ability to recognize those ideas and bring them into reality, even under really challenging circumstances. So you guys, every single one of you, have accomplished something absolutely amazing here. And Kristen and I couldn't be more proud of you. You've done a great job. So with that, Kristen, I'll put it back to you. We have a couple of last words. So if you want to throw that up there. Oh, I'm sorry. One thing I have to say. So I put the word out to the other cohorts, to the previous cohorts. And I was like, guys, I'm going to try to Ed McMahon their asses. Can you guys help me? And the other cohorts jumped all over this to start doing this with you guys. They were so excited to be part of this. So thank you to all of them who came and met me and met up together and figured out how to do this in a socially distanced and safe way, and still make it special. So thank you to those guys for volunteering. We really appreciate the help.
Let's give the cohort some noise. Let's unmute.
All right.
Good job, everyone.
And this is just our time to thank the donors that help us offer our programs and services at no cost to those entrepreneurs that we serve. Amanda, some dates to remember?
Yeah, do you mind handling this? Because I am working on our rooms.
Oh yeah, no problem. So dates to remember, just to some of these we talked about already, but re-highlighting them. So the next event that's coming up is our pitch contest, which will be virtual, July 16th. Fall Accelerator deadline is a couple weeks afterwards. That's going to be August 13th. And then you'll see we'll get rocking right into it. So the interviews are going to be end of August. And then mentors, something to note. So that's the first time we'll need you. Mentor orientation, August 31st. Mentor matching is going to be September 9th and 10th. We've had other sites do this on Zoom. So, you know, it'd be really great if we didn't have to, but if we do need to do it virtually, we've figured that out. And then the Fall Accelerator begins the week of September 15th. So that is kind of list of dates to remember. And what Amanda's working on right now is breakout rooms. And so I guess, Amanda, I'm not exactly sure how you have this structured, so I'll have
Yeah, well, neither am I. So that's, you know, it's good. So basically what I'm doing is I'm setting up breakout rooms for each of the entrepreneurs. So each of the entrepreneurs is going to stay in the breakout room that they're assigned to. And then I'm just sort of, I am randomly putting folks into different rooms here. So people are going to be able to jump into the rooms, talk to the different, to the different entrepreneurs. And when you're done, you can just exit the breakout room. You'll come into the main room and you can tell me who the next person is that you want to talk to. And I will